Welcome back to the Yes Fitness Longevity Podcast, where we give you insight on how to get fit, feel younger, and live better. Beautiful sunny day out here in Burlington, Connecticut. So there may be a little bit of glare on my glasses. I apologize, but I can't do this without my glasses on. So at least not today. Can't see my notes. For those who didn't tune in, last week I did a podcast. It was based on pet peeves because it was National Pet Peeve Week. And I got quite a reaction from people about my feelings, my emotions, how strong they were as to how they should not compare Y.E.S Fitness to a regular gym, and that we're not trainers, we're coaches. And that emotion came through on the podcast, and it got quite a reaction from people. So they asked me, how do you find a good coach if you're not living in the area? If you are living in the area, how do you compare myself, my services to other facilities and other services? Because there's a lot of great coaches out there, and there's a lot of great trainers. And we talked about the difference between the two last week. Coaches coach you and bring you through a lifestyle change, whereas trainers just bring you through a workout, not a program. So how do you actually find out or figure out who's the right person to go to? Where's the right place to go to for you and what you're trying to accomplish? I think it's a great idea to hire a coach. I think it's great that people looking for coaches were extremely important in people's lives when you really take a look at what we do and how we do things, how we don't just put together exercise programs for you, how a coach will bring you through, improve your sleep habits, maybe help you reduce your stress in your life, teach you probably a little bit better way to eat than you have been eating. So we're not nutritionists, we're not dietitians, but we can help you develop better eating habits, better hydration, just all different facets of your life. We're going to make your life better. So we're extremely important people. You see us 2, 3, 4, some people see us 6 days a week. We're important people in their lives. As important, I like to think, as important as a physician who they see once a year, and the physician wants to just give them another drug to take. I have a client right now who her cholesterol is starting to climb. She's in her 60s and her cholesterol is starting to climb. And the answer the physician gave her was, well, you're getting older. You're getting older, just expect that. Your blood pressure is starting to climb a little bit. Well, you're getting older. Didn't mention anything about changing your lifestyle, their habits. Didn't mention anything about changing what you might be doing for exercise or starting to exercise or being able to change your eating habits. She said there's nothing you can do about it even with diet. Well, that's just not true. That's just not true. So maybe this isn't the right physician for her, but we are important people. She's going to see that physician again in 3 or 6 months, going to take a blood test again from that. And who knows what kind of information they're going to give you, whereas we're going to see her 2, 3, 4 times a week. We can make an impact on her life, a better and easier, better impact, a more holistic impact than possibly her physician. And don't get me wrong, physicians are intelligent people, they're important people in this world. But sometimes we can make an impact on someone's life as well as a physician. So I think it's just great that people are out there looking for help, looking for the right person to guide them. And you need to think of us as a coach, as a guide, as someone that's going to bring you from point A to point B. We're going to navigate through all the different hurdles and bumps in the road that you're going to have. You see the physician in January, you don't see him again in 6 months. What if happens if something happens in February or March? They don't see you again until June, maybe 4 or 5 months later. What could have affected your life in that 4 or 5 months? So we're here to guide you. And that's what makes it so important. So finding the right guide for your journey is very important. You wouldn't want to climb Mount Everest without a guide, right? You wouldn't want to walk the Mojave Desert without a guide. You wouldn't want to traipse through the Amazon, the rainforest without a guide, would you? You might be able to read enough books and learn enough stuff to be able to do any and conquer any one of those things. but the experience and knowledge of that guide will get you there safely, effectively. Have some fun, keep you on track, keep you motivated. Those are all things a coach does. So you could learn it on your own. You could become a coach. You become a fitness coach. The knowledge is out there. We can all be whatever we want to be in life. If I really wanted to, I could be a lawyer. I could learn everything that a lawyer knows. There's books. I just need to do the research and the study and learn just like they did. But are you going to go through all that work and then maybe not have the experience that they have to be able to guide you through, to guide you to the top of Mount Everest, to maybe guide you through the Amazon? No, they're a guide. They've learned it, they've lived it. That's what their lives are all about. So you certainly can do it on your own, but are you going to do it safely? Are you going to do it effectively? Are you going to have someone there to keep you accountable, to keep you on track? All those types of things. So that's the way you have to look at it, as a guide. We're guiding you through whatever mission you're on in your fitness and your lifestyle. So I always find it interesting because there are a lot of coaches out there now. There's a lot of trainers. It's very simple to get a certification. You just go online and take a test for certification, and now you're a certified personal trainer. You can do 8 Saturdays for 8 hours. Take a little test, and now you're a personal trainer. And that's all people are looking for is, are you certified? Are you certified? You could open up a facility, and it could be John Doe's personal training studio and have absolutely no certification at all. There's no governing body. There's no licensing in personal training. There's no licensing in this coaching. So anyone can do it at any point in time. So it's really, really important to know and understand, to make sure that the person that you're working with is the right person for you. I know people come to me and they will say, are you a certified personal trainer? Honestly, I'm not a certified personal trainer anymore. No, I'm not. I have my bachelor's degree, and I have certifications that require bachelor's degrees to do what we do. Certified personal trainers, some of the certifications require, no personal training certification requires a bachelor's degree. Anyone can do it. It can be simple, or they could be by one of the accredited associations, one of the more recognized associations out there, but you don't need anything to open a gym and be a personal trainer. So you got to be very, very careful of that. I always thought it was kind of weird and odd that our industry has no governing bodies, no licensing, anything like that, and yet to be a massage therapist, you need to have a license. Now, nothing against massage therapists. I know a lot of great massage therapists, and the work that they do is fabulous. It's great for your body. It's great for your mind. Awesome stuff for you. Muscles, mindset, all that stuff. But massage therapists, I guess they could injure you if they really wanted to, but not likely to injure you, maybe push you off the table, or they could kill you if they put a pillow over your mouth. Coaches and trainers, we can hurt people. We can hurt people easily. We can hurt people bad. We could kill people. We could break people's bones. We could ruin their joints. Personal trainers and coaches in the fitness industry really can hurt people. Yet there's no licensing. Again, anyone can do this. Anyone could put a sign on the building and call it their personal training studio. So really, I'm just trying to stress the point. You need to know who you're working with and the correct choice of who that person is. Because you come through the door and they don't do the right things and you have heart disease, heart attack, you could die. You can have a stroke. We could ACL injury in your knee because we like hopping over a ball. It's a silly exercise like that. So I can't stress it enough. Make sure whoever you're working with has the education and the knowledge necessary to do your job correctly. You would not go to your doctor or your dentist or your accountant if they had online certifications. I know you wouldn't. I know you will not put your life in the hands of someone, okay, whether it's physically or financially, a financial planner, if they didn't have the correct education to do that. You just wouldn't do that because you don't want to lose all your money and you don't want to get hurt and die. So why would you do that with someone that you see 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days a week? That's how important we are, and that's how important the process in trying to determine who is the right person to work with, who's the right person to be your guide through your journey and exercise. So I'm going to give you some pointers on what to look for and what to be aware of and what to think about as you go through this process. A lot of times people will just take a look at the physical feature of the person, say, wow, you know what? That guy's ripped. That's who I want to work out with. Or they take a look at the body of a female trainer and say, that's, that woman really looks hot. That's the woman I want to work with. Or maybe they work with an athlete, or maybe they work with a celebrity. Now, keep in mind, celebrities, their job is to look good, okay? So they're focused 24/7 to look good. Our focus can't be that. We have 2, 3, 4 hours a week where we got to worry about looking good and working on that. The rest of our lives, we got kids, we got jobs, we got families, we got all kinds of stuff going on. So keep that in mind that, a celebrity trainer's job might be just a little bit easier because of the focus the celebrity might have. But anyway, but you can't just go by the fact that they're coaching a celebrity or the coaching a star athlete or what they look like, because you just can't judge that from there. They can't judge the book by its cover. Mike Boyle, if you stuck Mike Boyle in a room full of people in a gym, put him in a gym, and Mike says this himself. So if you don't know who Mike Boyle is one of the top strength and conditioning coaches in the country, one of the most knowledgeable trainers and coaches in the world. He has been the strength coach for, if I get this all correct, Boston Red Sox, BC College, the Olympics soccer team, maybe the Celtics, the Bruins, big time hockey coach. Just trust me, he's one of the top knowledge guys in the world, okay? And if you put him in a room, you would have no idea that he is that smart guy. He's about my height. He's a little bit more slender than I am. He's in his late 50s, not big build. And you would never know it looking at him. So you can't judge the book by its cover. So you've got to dig deeper than that. You got to dig deeper than the fact that this guy's got his ripped abs on his Facebook page or on his website. You got to go deeper than that. Take a look into that. So the first thing you might want to do is you might want to check out the reviews on Yelp, his website, his Facebook page. Certainly, you can find a few people to say some good things about you, okay? They can find 4 or 5 people that can write a review. So do they have multiple 4 or 5-star reviews? Do they have 15 or 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 reviews saying that they're the guy, that they listen to me, I get results? That's the first place you might want to start to look at. You might want to go through their dialogue on their website or their Facebook page to see if they're training and coaching people that are just like you, that have goals that are just like you. I personally am not interested in bodybuilding, so I have no interest in go working with a trainer that does bodybuilding. And if I went to their website and I looked at that, I would know right away, hey, you know what? That's not the right guy for me, because his interest is in bodybuilding. Now, he may be able to have some other skills that transfer to my goals, but right off the bat, you might just be able to look through their website, through the materials, through the testimonials, through their reviews, and find out, hey, you know what? Is this the right person for me? And I'm sure that that's not rocket science for anyone here. Look, with today's social media, Instagram and Facebook and websites. So that's probably the first place you want to take a look at. Now, once you've narrowed that down to a reasonable range, whether you want them to come to your house or whether you're going to go to the facility, you've now narrowed down the people that you want to start to take a look at. So you might want to start looking at the years of experience. Not to say that someone that's been in the business 6 months can't be a good coach, but for your situation, you might need someone that has a little bit more experience. We coach people that are 40 plus. So we have people that come through the door that have had knee replacement, hip replacements, ankle surgery, shoulder replacements, heart attacks, strokes, MS. We have all that type of stuff. Not that we don't train people that are healthy, but those people who have already had incidents, that have already dealt with things in their health, they don't want to go to a coach that's maybe just fresh out of school, that has no experience, that doesn't understand how the body works and feels when you get 40 or 50 or 60 years old. So that's super important. Their experience with the type of person that you are, with the goals that you're trying to accomplish. I don't need a speed coach. I'm not trying to run faster. So if my website is all full of stuff about speed and athletics and developing all kinds of power and that type of stuff, it might not be the right coach for me. Not to say you don't have to interview them, but it might not be. It should be a little bit of a red flag for you to take a look at. You should go and interview that person. Sit down 15, 20 minutes and ask them some questions. So the first thing in that interview is you're going to get a feel for, is that somebody that you want to work with for a couple hours a week? Do they speak to you the way you want to be spoken to? Is their presence the type of presence that you want? Do they have the bedside manner that you're looking for? Do you want someone that's a little bit more in your face, or do you want someone a little bit more reserved? Do you want someone that's at the same level that you're at? Do they have the style of coaching that you're looking for? Do they have the style of communication that you're looking for? Very important, something you need to learn and see as soon as you get into that interview process. The person right then and there. You'll know like that if that's the right person or if it's not the right person in the beginning of the interview. So once you're into the interview process, you want to go right, list of questions, have them ready for you, or have them ready for when you sit down and meet with that coach. Things that we've already talked about. Do they have a college education? Is college education necessary? It's not necessary, but 4 years of their life or 8 years if they have a master's degree into this industry, that means they're serious. That means that this is what they want to do. This is what they study. This is what they think about all the time. Do you want just some part-timer that does a job during the day and then comes at night and trains for 2 or 3 hours, puts you through a workout and sends you home? Is that the person you're looking for? Maybe it is. I don't know. But you want to think about that. You want to think about, has that person dedicated himself to the industry? Is that person the person that lives, eats, drinks, and sleeps in that industry? Because I know that's what you want if you go to a doctor. I know that's what you want if you go to your accountant. I know that's if the person who does your financial planning or your dentist. I know that's what you're looking for. So is that what you're looking for in your coach, that guide? You want to take a look if they have a certification, okay? Not completely necessary, but it means that they've invested in their future. They've invested in their knowledge. The certification process, you don't learn everything in college. We all know that. We all learn a lot of stuff once we get out of school. So that certification process of being what they call a certified personal trainer, which doesn't require the bachelor's degree, like I said before, but American College of Sports Medicine, NASM, which is the National Academy of Sports Medicine, ACSM, NSCA, National Strength and Conditioning Association. There are three associations: American College of Sports, American ACE, American Council on Exercise. Pardon me. There are 3 or 4 certifications you might want to look for as you interview someone to make sure that they're staying on top of the industry. And they're not just that. If they've been in the field, what do they do now to stay on top of the field, to stay on top of those trends? What are they doing? Do they have other certifications? Do they have a functional movement screen certification so they understand how the body moves and functions? Do they take a look into maybe DVRT, some variable resistance training? Do they take a look at maybe a foot certification, whatever it is? But what are they doing? Are they going to conferences? Are they watching webinars? What do they do? Are they reading books? What's the last book they read on the industry? Who do they listen to in their podcast? What are they doing to stay on top of today's trends? Because our business is in the infantile stages. In the 60s, we were lifting weights like we did when our grandparents and our parents and our dads did. In the 70s, the aerobics thing started. In the 80s, we grew. So maybe our industry is 30 or 40 years old now. The amount of studies and research that's done in this industry is immense. It's overwhelming. There's 2 or 3 journals that thick to come out each month on just studies on our industry. Are they staying on top of that? So ask them right out. What are you doing to stay on top of the industry, and find out when's the last time they went to a conference? When was the last time they got a new certification or something like that? As you go through the process, ask them what the intake process is like. What are they going to go through when you come on board? What's it like to work out in their facility? Do they do a health screening to find out what your health is like, what your family history is like? Do you have a family history of coronary artery disease? Do you have a family of hypertension, diabetes? Are you inactive? What have you done for exercise before? Do they take a look at your injuries? Do they find out, hey, you know what? I was in a car accident 5 years ago, or 8 years ago I had my hip replaced. These are all things that need to go into a program. Or do they just have you walk in the door, hey, you know what? Let's just try a class. Let's just see what happens. Let's just put you in a class and see what happens. Or let's just do a private session so you can see what I'm like when I train. Is that the person you want to go to? Because I'm pretty sure before the dentist starts to drill, he does an assessment, he looks at your teeth, he does an x-ray, right? Before the doctor does surgery, he's done all kinds of tests and taken a look at what's going on. Before a financial planner tells you to take your money and put it into this, he finds out all about your financial life. Same thing with us. We need to know what level of fitness you're at now, what level of fitness you were at before, what you've done for exercise before. Hey, do you have any idea what a squat is? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Do you have any health problems? What is your lifestyle like? Do you sit all day long? That makes a difference in how we coach you, because your hip flexors might be tight and your glutes might be very weak. What kind of stress are you under? You're going to try to lose weight, but hey, you know what? I'm under constant stress all day long. I'm taking care of my parents in my house. I've got a sick child. My husband just lost his job. We need to know that as a coach. So in the screening process, do they go through all those aspects of your life, of your present life? When do you want to exercise? How much exercise time do you have? Does their schedule coincide with your schedule? Those are all questions you need to know and understand and ask before you just jump on board with this person. Do they talk about your goals, what you want to accomplish? And do they help you really understand what your goals are? And do they give you an idea or a plan what it's going to take to get to those goals? If you're working with someone and you're working in a private setting or a semi-private setting, and they have a plan written out for you, they're going to have a whole program written out for you. It's not going to just be one workout at a time. They're not going to even just write 2 or 3 workouts at a time. They're going to know they're going to reverse engineer it. Well, this is what John Doe wants to do. So I'm going to work backwards until I get to the point where I need to start. And from there, what do we need to go forward to get you to where you want to go to accomplish? So it's a whole plan. Again, back to the beginning analogy. We're thinking about being a guide, not just a trainer, someone puts you through a workout. It's a guide. It's going to guide you through life to get you where you want to go. Price can mean something. It can mean a lot to a lot of people. The price of what that training is going to cost. Typically, they say that if someone's expensive, they're good. I don't think you can just go by that, because if so, someone could just open the door and be expensive and say, well, you know what? You get what you pay for. I'm expensive, so I'm good. So don't just take a look at what the price is. You certainly need to worry about price based upon your budget, but keep in mind that price is not the determining factor on whether a trainer or a coach is a good coach or not, or whether a facility is good or not. You need to know all these things, understand these things. Nothing to think about it. It's amazed if someone wasn't, but make sure that they're CPR certified and that they're first aid certified. You wouldn't want to just go through and have something happen and they were not certified in those 2 areas, very important areas. All the certifications require that, but just make sure that that's the case when you decide on where you're going to work out and who you're going to work out with. I'm going to just backtrack to price again. Make sure the price is clear and you can understand it. It should be in writing so you know and understand what the pricing structure is and how it all works. You don't want to be caught working out and finding out that someone is paying less than you or someone is paying more for you, you need to be quiet. It should be even. This is what you are. This is what I'm worth. The price is what he's worth, and that's what they should charge. Okay? So make sure that it's clear. Also, make sure they have insurance. I mean, I know it's, just a no-brainer. You wouldn't want somebody working on your house if they're not insured. You don't want to go to the doctor if they're not insured. You're certainly not going to go to the dentist if they're not insured. You need insurance to know and understand that if something was to possibly happen, God forbid something happened, that the insurance is there to back it up, that they have liability insurance. Because there's people out there who don't. People don't believe insurance. They roll the dice, they gamble. You got to make sure they have insurance. Extremely important. And one of the final things you want to try to take a look at, I spoke about this a minute ago, about your training schedule, how often you want to train. They should give you an idea how often you need to train to be able to achieve the goals you're looking for. But you want to make sure that if it's important to you, that they have the flexibility to accommodate your schedule if necessary. So, for example, if you're going to train Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6 a.m., are you locked into Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6 a.m.? Does that coach have availability or ability to take care of you at different hours of the day if your schedule doesn't work out that way? So, for example, I can't make it on Wednesday at 6 a.m. Can I come at 7? Can I come in the evening? Can I work until Thursday? Is that possible? If that's important to you, you want to make sure up front that you know that and that they understand that you might have difficulties in training and things like that. Find out when they're closed for vacation. Find out when they're closed for holidays. All things to think about. Maybe not something to think about when you first went in the door, but you're going to want to know that. You're definitely going to want to know that. You don't want to be caught thinking, hey, you know what? I want to be able to train all these days, and I can't because he takes 4 weeks vacation, and they're all piled together. So those are some of the areas and some of the things that I think you should take a look at as you're looking for a coach, as you're looking for that guide. Go back through, write them down, make a list of some of the other things that might be important to you. Like make sure the facility is clean if they're training in a facility, make sure it has proper lighting, make sure it has bathrooms. Do they have showers if you want to have showers? Are the changing rooms if you need to have changing rooms? What kind of music do they play? Is the floors clean? Do they have the right surfaces that you're looking for? If you're going to be working out in their facility, take a tour, ask them questions, find those things out. Do they provide water for you? Do they have towels in case you begin to perspire or sweat? Is it air conditioned? I know a lot of small facilities opening up these days in buildings and there's no air conditioning. So you join in January, it's all cool because it's cold in there, and all of a sudden June, July, and August hits and it's 100 degrees out and your training facilities has no air conditioning but some big fans. Next thing you know, you're not showing up to the gym because it's just not comfortable working out in 100-degree weather. Although some of us, like myself, do enjoy that, it may not be the healthiest thing for you. So look at the facility, check it out. So you may also come up with some other ideas, but there's, I think, some base ideas that you need to think about as you're trying to decide on that coach, on that guide, that person that's going to bring you through and hopefully bring you through from now until years and years and years along the road. You keep your doctors forever. You keep your accountants for a long time. You stay with the same dentist till they retire. You want to try to find that coach that you're comfortable with, that's going to get you the results that you're looking for. Okay? And you want to be able to stay with that coach for a long time, because that's a very, very important person in your life. So if you have any questions about finding a coach, I typically will have people, not typically, but I have people that move on from us. They move to different areas of the country. They leave us for whatever reason they leave us for, and they might ask me my opinion on how to help them find a coach. These are the same things that I tell them. I often will tell them, let me know who it is, and I can check it out for you as well. So if you have some questions as to who you might want to use as a coach, they might not be in our area, go ahead, Facebook message me, let me know, put it on our Facebook page. I'd be more than happy to check it out for you, give you my opinion on whether I think it's someone that's right for you, or maybe give you some guidance on what you need to do to figure out if that's the correct person for you. And that's about it. That's a wrap up for today. So thanks for watching. Look for us again next week on Tuesday at 3:30. We'll give you more insight on how to get fit, feel younger, and live better. Have a great night.